exception would be another decline in the stock market. If the stock market busts again, which it's likely to do, then people fleeing for safety will buy the bonds because that's traditional. I mean, it's habit. It's the way people behave when they get scared of in stocks. They run and get into government bonds, and they still think the Treasury is a safe place to be. So that could.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, part of this special 27-hour transmission. Joel Skousen coming up, Stan Monteith, Max Keiser, Gerald Celente, Alan Watt, Webster Tarpley. It's all coming up. I'll be here live right through tomorrow. The Moneybomb, InfowarsMoneybomb.com is going really well. I want to thank and commend all of you for supporting true grassroots hardcore media that's the most effective out there. I got super news. It turns out he's been trying to call us for hours. My cell phone was in there charging, and I've got to get a new one. The battery's just dead. It's one of those iPhones with the internal, so I just have to get rid of the whole phone. Johnathan Irish, and we've even got the video of it from We Are Change Maine. Johnathan Irish and his fiancée got the baby back today, and there is a gag order. The court basically let them know over basic specifics dealing with the family court. But I've gotten the documents that he sent me last night, and there is another John Irish in New Hampshire who does have a domestic violence conviction or arrest. In fact, asked Stu to bring me those documents. I had them, but they're in his email. I have printed them, but I can't find them here in the stack. I'm not going to get into that. The point is that the media kept saying, you know, domestic violence issue was another John Irish. We're just going to leave it at that. But the point is the baby has been returned, no questions asked. Johnathan Irish, this is super news. This is a miracle, isn't it?
To say the least, you know, I mean, it proves anyone who doesn't believe in God before now, I'm telling you right now, God does exist. I mean, you know, this is just incredible. This is nothing short of a miracle, and it proves that justice does prevail.
Well, I talked to you 30 minutes last night, and you literally sounded like you were dying. I mean, I've never heard such depression, but it's always darkest before the dawn. Before we go through this, and I do have the internal memorandums and arrest records here that you did send me of the other John Irish, so basically, those news articles about that, it was another John Irish, and I know we can't get into the court record here, but I brought that up to you. You said I can't talk about it. The court said no, but I said, is it that I told you to enter that into the record? And you, well, I mean, how much can you say?
Well, I'll start off by saying that there is a New Hampshire RSA. It's Revised Statutes Annotated, which is New Hampshire law. That's 169 C as in Charlie 25. That is essentially a blanket gag order on anyone involved in a family law case, which prohibits any of the parties involved from speaking publicly to the press, media, or anyone disclosing any information on the case, which is what DCYF and the family courts hide behind so that the public and the media does not find out and does not know about the illegal, unconstitutional actions that DCYF and the family court take on a daily basis.
And Johnathan, just to interrupt, I'm remiss because radio stations, TV stations are carrying this simulcast video audio feed right now, including a big station down in Houston, Channel 11 on cable, a cable network. In fact, give me the printout on that Channel 11. I need to plug them later. But thank you, guys. But you had your baby taken last Thursday. It was born Wednesday night. And they cited in the affidavit that it was because you were affiliated with Oath Keepers and the Second Amendment. And it had a bunch of unsubstantiated allegations in it. And then people kept getting confused because you were saying, I don't have any conviction for family violence. And now we know it's the CPS just getting it all confused. But I want to warn you, and this became a big national issue. Most people probably heard about it. It's been on the Drudge Report, national news, you name it, on television. And I've been attacked and demonized now by Media Matters for supporting you. But regardless if you were a devil or an angel, it was wrong to put that political designation in there, Johnathan.
Correct, it is. It's a violation of the First Amendment, clearly. just like that law that I stated, the gag order law, essentially is what it is. That's a violation of the freedom of speech and a violation of freedom of press right there. And it proves beyond a reasonable doubt, unless people are so blind, the sheeple, I guess you can say, that it proves that these people do these things on a daily basis, and they use this law or laws like this to hide behind so that people have a choice of, okay, commit a crime and get arrested if you tell the truth, or don't tell the truth and allow us to continue to do these
Well,
things.
they threatened you today not to talk about it, but if the baby was bleeding in their custody, and that made national news today, if they couldn't even get Johnathan Irish from John Irish right, I don't know. You need to talk to some lawyers, but I think as long as you don't talk about the baby specifically or names of other people or anything, the general facts, you have a right here. I'm not saying sue them because, they'll probably come back after you. Here's the other issue, Jonathan. I want to talk about the protest today and then let you get back to your family time. I know Gary Franchi's there with you. I want him to pop in of the Lone Lantern Society. And of course, Stuart Rose and everybody flew out there for the protest today. It was very successful in front of the court. But they may wait till this dissipates and wait for you to make any mistake. Nobody's perfect. Everybody yells. Everybody argues. There's no perfect family. Everybody's weird. They're going to keep trying to demonize you from behind the scenes and put out disinfo. You got George Soros after you now. I don't know if you know that. But you might have a case against Media Matters. They said Alex Jones is protecting a wife beater and a baby beater. I mean, talk about no journalistic integrity. You've been convicted of nothing. They've given your baby back. I think Media Matters, really, I could sue them right now. I don't have time and energy for it, or you could. You need to force retractions and send emails to all of them saying, here's the facts, here's the news articles that'll be out tomorrow in the Concord newspapers. You better reverse all this defamation because they're trying to demonize us, and it's dangerous for us not to counter them. But you understand, you are a good guy. You don't have any criminal record. We ran your background. I learned, I didn't know this, you were taken by CPS when you were, 11? And went through hell. And so they always target families like vampires that they've been back to over and over again. Your whole family's been through hell with these people. But I want to warn you, you have got to act and live like a complete, perfect angel now, because they are going to be gunning for you. Do you understand that?
Oh, yes. We fully understand we're expecting it, and which is exactly why we carry a video camera on us 24/7.
Well, again, I've been asking a lot of questions, making a lot of points for new listeners tuning in, saying, what is this all about? What was it? Tell us as much as when the hearing was, the protest, what it was like when you got baby Cheyenne back.
Well, the protest, the rally started at about noontime today. Matter of fact, we didn't show up until about 11:30, and it was already starting then. So who knows when people exactly started showing up. I actually pulled in. When we pulled in, my biological father, John, was standing in the driveway of the entranceway of the courthouse, speaking with one of the reporters from Concord Monitor, and no one knew it was Stephanie and I pulling in, so we parked the truck. I locked the truck, set the alarm, and if anyone's seen the footage, I was clean cut, suit, head to toe, dress shoes, you name it, I was wearing it. I had a stack of paperwork with my biological father's convictions. Well, here's the deal.
I just said John Irish, and I have the paperwork that you sent me here, but I don't want to get into interfamily things. But basically they confuse your name with his. But I don't want to. I talked to your dad yesterday. He seems like a nice guy. I think you guys need to go to church, try to make it better. But the issue is, finish up your point about going into the courthouse. Go ahead.
Well, we went into the courthouse. We met with the attorneys, and the attorneys felt that a continuance was in order. And, to be quite honest, I didn't want to go any longer without my daughter. I figured, let's take a shot.
They wanted to stall. They wanted to stall
about it, but both sides presented their case. Both sides argued as usual in any hearing. And in the end of it, the outcome was obviously our daughter was returned to us. No questions asked, everything but an apology. Which proves, if they returned an infant, a newborn to us, it proves that their allegations are nothing short of false and nothing short of lies. Because, if these were true, they wouldn't have returned a child to us.
Well, the fact that you don't have any convictions or arrests for family violence and that they put that in the affidavit is very powerful. But you're saying there's, I mean, I can't see how there can be a gag on the fact that that was the determining factor. It's not about, that's not about the baby.
Like I said, it's not necessarily just a gag order. It's actually a New Hampshire state statute or a law.
No, I understand. Okay, then we'll leave it at that. But the point is, you didn't have any convictions, and it's like the Fugitive TV show. They had the wrong guy.
Correct, exactly.
And all those people that attacked us, all those people, we actually went and did criminal background checks ourselves, paid the money for it. We actually went and got the documents. We got them from and did the research. And I tell you, look, nobody's perfect. And I've had to many times myself and some, Yosemite Sam, 3-foot-tall cop starting to fight with me, not get into it with them. But I'm telling you, Jonathan, you've got to, from your record, everything, you look like a great, good guy. But with all the stress of life, everything else, you have got to absolutely not get confident about this. Thank your lucky stars. Thank God. I know you've done that. And you have got to be on the straight and narrow, realizing, God gives you a miracle and the national support and people betting everything on you. Do you understand that it's not just about Johnathan Irish now or your daughter or your fiance? This is about people putting it on the line for you. Do you want to thank folks?
Yes, sir. I can't, Stephanie and I can't express our gratitude enough for all the support, all the advice, the phone calls, the emails that have poured in, just thank everyone so much. And again, we can't stress that enough. And I understand, from the beginning, from the get-go, we said this isn't about us. This isn't about just Cheyenne. This is about the fact that they are doing illegal, unconstitutional things that they cannot do. And it needs to be ended because it hasn't started with us. It's been going on for years. And we're not the only ones, obviously. And unless the proper channels are pursued and the proper things are done, then it's not going to stop. It's just going to continue, and it can't happen.
Well, you understand you've been thrust into the national spotlight and your name tied to Oath Keepers now, and they are being savaged by literally scores of newspapers, Media Matters, George Soros. I'm being savaged, and spend time with your daughter the next few days. But realize now, they've got a major black eye that the darling baby was given back to you, and you've been vindicated. But now you have got to, and this is the same thing in my life, folks. 20 years ago, somebody smarted off to me at a restaurant in the street. I'm like, let's go. Now, people do that to me. People flip me off, cut me off. I've had big guys come up and yell at me in a parking lot for no reason. And I just say, yes, sir, I'm sorry. And, of course, the man in me wants to get out and just literally, just tear their head off. I mean, I enjoy a good fight. You have got to realize and I'm not trying to preach at you, Jonathan. It's just, this is such a blessing. We have got to appreciate. I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, right now, and everybody that prayed. Do you know how many people prayed for you, Jonathan, and your fiance and your daughter?
I don't know exactly, but I can only imagine, and I have to say, I agree, thank everyone, thank the Lord. It's a miracle that this happened, that it turned out this way.
Now, they're not, and it was a complete release. They're not saying you've got to now go to all this counseling and stuff.
Correct.
Because they try to use that to get more dirt on you, and their psychiatrists work for them. Were you polite to them and thankful? Because their egos get hurt. It's better to let them think they're winning. It's always better to just after you've had the big victory, you don't want to make them lose too much face. I mean, did you act appreciative?
Yes, we did. We very much so. We thanked the judge. We thanked we thanked the judge. Showed our condolences and showed our appreciation to the judge. Again. It's just
this may be a patriot.
A miracle.
It is this may be a patriot judge, Johnathan Irish.
Very well, may be.
Well, all I can say is I commend you. I know your wife. I didn't ask you. I guess she's with the baby right now.
Yes, sir. Would you like to speak with her?
Yes, I'd love to talk to your fiance.
One moment, please. Let me find her, honey. Hold on 1 second. She's in that bedroom. Okay. Honey? Mr. Jones would like to speak with you.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, Stephanie?
Whoa, you're on speakerphone. Hold on. Why is that? Okay.
Stephanie,